Hey guys, welcome to Allison Unfiltered. My name is Allison Damscove. I am excited to be here. This is my first podcast, so it's a little nerve wracking. I'm a little nervous, so bear with me through any dead spots. Hopefully, there won't be any. But I'm here because I want to tell you a little bit about me, and I want to give you a little bit of motivation, a little bit of love, and let you know that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you've come from. It doesn't matter how hard your struggles are in life. You can be anything that you want to be. And you can grow to be anything that you want to be. So, I want to start out by telling you a little bit about my story. And then I'll get into telling a little bit about me. But what brings me here is my story. I, first and foremost, I'm a mom, right? I'm a mom of four teenage boys. They're from the ages of 18 to 25, and they are my whole world. I've got an incredible husband, two dogs, Kira and Indy. You may hear us talk about them, maybe. But here's the thing. About 6 years ago, I was miserable. So miserable. I was so overweight. I was busting out of my size 20s. I felt like crap. I always wanted to take a nap. I didn't want to come home and do anything. Like, it was exhausting just to get up every day. So I heard a friend of mine talking about something that helped her. And it's a product called Xyngular, a system, not just a product. And that's not what this whole podcast is about, but it's going to be a little bit about a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of everything. So I heard her tell her story, and I thought, okay, maybe I could do this. Maybe I'll give it one more shot. Because, I mean, I tried everything like everybody else, right? Starving myself, counting calories, quitting all the sugars and the sodas. Phentermine, oh, that was a bad one. Man, that stuff makes me really ugly. Oh, and just a little tidbit. I may say some bad words. I'll try to refrain from the big bad ones, but the bad ones might happen. This is me unfiltered. And you know, the funny thing about that is people think I'm already unfiltered and they have no clue what I actually don't say that I think. And maybe that'll come out too. So anyway, back to my story. I I needed to change. I needed to do something for myself. My marriage was struggling because my self confidence was lacking, and that's hard. That's really hard to deal with. So I got started, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, I have the palate of a 6 year old. I hate vegetables. I thought of every excuse. I don't like shakes. I don't like this. I don't eat that, right? I had every single excuse, and I hear it all the time. So I got started. I lost 10 pounds in my first 8 days. And I thought, huh, maybe I could do this. Just maybe. And so, get me through the first month, right? 20 pounds. And I was like, there's no way. Like, this is actually working. This is actually working. So fast forward 9 months, and I'm down 75 pounds. I have kept that weight off for like probably about 5 years now. And the crazy thing is, I never believed in myself. Like, every time I would do something, I'd fall off the wagon and gain all the weight back. And especially when you do stuff like phentermine and it just teaches you not to eat. Once you start eating again, right, you just gain it all back and then some. So it took me like a year and a half to throw my size 20 pants away from that like, you know, had bags stored in my closet. It took me forever to throw those away. So I finally threw them away, and I was like, I can do this. This is life changing, right? And here's the thing that changed the most: me. And the reason it changed is because I had so many people watching what I was doing, right? I posted about what I was doing on Facebook, social media, and people were following me. People that I didn't even realize were following me and following my story and following my journey. So I just kind of stumbled into the business side of it. And we've become really successful with the business side of it. And that's not something that I ever thought would happen for me. I never thought, like, you see people on TV all the time, like, oh, I did this and I did that. And, I'm driving a Ferrari now and all this stuff, right? And man, it's me, right? I'm not driving a Ferrari yet, but one day I will. I don't even like Ferraris. But anyway, I like the car I have. I'll tell you about that story one day too. So we've become successful in the business, and I did that by sharing my story with other people. And what happens when you share your story is there's other people that want to do what you do, and then they share their story too. And then it just creates this like a locomotive train that is headed downhill, and you can't even stop it even if you wanted to, right? And then all of a sudden I became this like person that people looked up to. And that was hard. That was scary. Oh my God, that was so scary. So if there's something you can take out of this, self-confidence was a huge thing for me. How am I gonna lead people? How am I gonna set the example? I'm a pretty disciplined person, total type A personality, but and I'm bossy too, so I like telling people what to do, and that's probably one of my biggest downfalls, and probably one of the best things about me too. So people either love me or they hate me. I'm either too brash and abrasive, but I'll never lie to you. So if you ask me a question, like, I will never ever lie to you. I will always tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. So with this success comes leadership. And one of the things that I had to really tell myself in this leadership was that I can, right? I can, and I am capable of this. And so if you struggle with self-doubt, if you struggle with, just your own insecurities, I challenge you to do something. And if this is the only thing you get out of this podcast, I think it would be awesome. I have two of these. It's called an I am board. So you just get a piece of poster board, or even a piece of paper. I don't care if you have a poster board or not. And go to Google if you have to, but come up with like 15 to 20 positive words about yourself to write on that poster board. Okay? 15 to 20 positive words, right? I am real big in the center of it. And then just, I don't know, write in cursive or however you want to, make it pretty, do whatever, right? But put it up somewhere where you see it every day, because that's where I have mine. Mine are on my closet door. And so I see them every single day. I'm looking at them and I'm reading those words to myself, those positive words. And here's what happens when you do that. When you do that, whatever you bring in, right, is what you put out into the world. So whatever you bring into your brain is what you put out into the world through your mouth and your thoughts and things like that. So that helps, right? That helps telling yourself those good, positive things, because we're so bad at telling ourselves all the bad things, all the negative things. We struggle with that. I know that I do too. And I hope some of you can relate to this. There's so much to my story other than just Xyngular and weight loss, and being a mom, But we've been on trips. We've traveled around the world, and I can't wait to tell you about some of those trips and the journey and the things that we've been able to do because of this company has been incredible. Before I met my husband, Danny, I was a single mom, and I was a single mom for a long time. And I had just come to the conclusion that I was going to be a single mom forever. And then I quit looking for someone, and he came along, and that's a whole nother podcast. We met on Match.com actually. So that'll be a fun story to share one day. But man, he's been, I don't know what I would have done without him, but before him, it was hard. Life was a struggle. My two boys, oh God, like I said, they're my life. And his two boys, they're my life as well. But when it was just me and my boys, it was hard. I was a single mom making $12.50 an hour, struggling, right? Oh, like both of my kids' dads were in prison at the same time. There was no child support. I was on food stamps. We got Medicaid. My grandmother helped pay for daycare because I got like, I don't know, they call it CCS, some sort of like support for childcare and help with childcare. And then my mom would pay, a little bit in groceries that food stamps didn't cover. And that was pretty gut wrenching because I'm a pretty independent person, and when you have to ask for that much help, it's very, very humbling. And it reminds me of just a little story that I got to, a little moment that I got to have one day with my mom. She came over to my house and she said, Allie, that's what she calls me, Allie. My dad calls me that too. But she said, Allie, do you need any money? Are you okay? She was so used to doing that. And this is once we had started Xyngular. And I said, no, Mom, I've got plenty. Do you need any money? Are you okay? And that moment right there, to be able to have that kind of independent financial freedom and not have to worry about needing something from someone else, that I was able to provide all that. Oh my gosh, that was a good moment, right? That's that moment where you feel like you've arrived. So part of my past, and my mom was a single mom. My dad and mom divorced when I was like 2 years old. My dad and I talk on occasion, but he's not real interested in being a dad. And I wasn't the easiest teenager and young adult for sure on the planet. I like piercings. My dad does not. There was a time that I actually had my eyebrow pierced, and I went to my dad's house, and he made me wear a Band-Aid over my eyebrow piercing because he's just that kind of guy. So anyway, that's a whole nother. We'll get into my young adult years eventually, but it wasn't easy. I wasn't an easy person. I was very selfish, very self-centered. And part of the reason I was that is because I was a drug addict. And that makes life really hard. I think that's probably one of the hardest times I've ever been through. And I've been clean for 26 years. Roughly 26 years. My oldest son's 25. So, and there's a God moment that happens in all of that. And I want to share that story. So I so hope you stick to this journey with me, because I have so many stories to share and so many things that I think that could help, that people could relate to. And I think that I can help someone, right? That's my whole goal. I think that's really my goal, is if I can say one thing that changes something for you to better yourself, then that's what this is all about. That's what I'm here for. So I'm excited to be here. A little bit about being a recovering drug addict. I look back now and I see that I was trading one addiction for another, right? I went from being a drug addict to being a food addict, which put me in a place of becoming 252 pounds when I started this. I feel better. That's one of a really huge point. And I'm not body shaming anyone, and I want to make that really clear, because like, you obviously, if you're watching the video, you can see me. I still have meat on my bones. I still have weight to lose. I know that. One day I'll get there, right? If I decide to. But it's not about being skinny. It's about being healthy and feeling good, right? So many of us live our daily lives and we feel like shit every day. And you don't have to, right? There are things out there that will help you not feel bad, that aren't pharmaceuticals. That's the other thing about Xyngular, is it's root and plant based. It's good stuff. It's natural stuff. My kids use this on a regular basis too. So that brings me to a little story. And I want to paint this picture for you. Before I started Xyngular, I was a bookkeeper. And I got laid off of my job in bookkeeping totally unexpectedly. I'd been with the company for like 7 years, right? And when they laid me off, I called my coach, like my mentor, crying, and I called Danny crying, and Danny was like, "It's fine. This is what God wants. You know, He's just opened another door for you. Now you can do what you love full time and all this, right?" And we did great. Like, I put my head down. I call it. I put my head down and my honey up. Right, got real busy and doubled our income because I was already making more money with Xyngular than I was my full time job anyway. But it was nice to have like a double paycheck, right? I kind of dig that. So we doubled our income in that 6 months, and I haven't been back to work since. That was May of 2018 when I got laid off, and I haven't been back to work. But a little story that happened at that job before Xyngular started. So let me paint the picture for you. So I'm sitting in my office, and there's two monitors, right? Two screens. We had a very laxed working environment, which was nice. There wasn't a lot of stress. It was kind of like get your job done and everybody will kind of, nobody will mess with you. So that was nice. So two monitors, right? I've got my headphones in. I've got Netflix on one screen. I've got Wolfpack, which was our software that we used, on the other screen. My feet are up on my computer tower under my desk. I've got my chair laid back a little bit, and I'm covered with a blanket, right? The perfect setting for nap 30. That's what I called it. That hour and a half or so after lunch. About 2:30 every day when you just want to lay down at your desk and fall asleep because you ate something that you probably shouldn't have eaten for lunch, and you grab some candy after, and then you had this big sugar high, and then you've dropped, right? So, that's where I'm at. I'm perfectly set up for nap 30. Got a good movie playing on Netflix. And apparently, I fell asleep. Oh, yeah, I totally fell asleep. And when I woke up, there was something in front of me. There was a flash drive and an envelope sitting on my keyboard in front of me. And I thought, oh my gosh, what just happened? How much time? I'd been asleep about 20 minutes. And so I called the person, which is one of my clients, who came in and left the stuff on my keyboard. And I called him and I was like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I can't believe I fell asleep. It was just warm and comfy. And he just laughed and thought it was funny. Thank God, right? Thank God it was that client that thought it was funny. And so he called me Sleeping Beauty after that. Y'all, I was mortified. I was so mortified every time he called me Sleeping Beauty. And so that's one of the things that I love about Xyngular is I don't get tired in the day. I don't have nap 30. I have the energy from my Zing. I have the energy in the afternoon from my trim sticks. That's what's in here, pink lemonade. It's my favorite. I'll tell you about it one day. But man, that's embarrassing, right? Then that's embarrassing to tell because I don't even know. Like I don't talk to that boss anymore, but I don't even know if they know that that happened. So if you're going through life and you are feeling that, then maybe one day we should talk because I can help. I've been able to help. I've coached about 5,000 people, and that's been really incredible. It totally fills my cup to get a message from someone that says, "Oh my gosh, I didn't take a nap today," or "Oh my gosh, I feel so good today. I have so much energy. Like I want to clean the house." Who wants to clean the house? Nobody does, right? So it's like I said, it's been a journey. There's still so much more to come. I want more. I want more than just being a business coach and a health coach. Like I want to be able to motivate people and help people and let other people see that there's people just like you out there struggling with the same things, but that doesn't mean that you can't better your life, right? Life is all about choices. Life is all about choices. What do you do when you wake up in the mornings? What's the first thing you do? What's the last thing you do before you go to bed? I can tell you my business for sure, 100%. And it's why I'm successful. I'm very disciplined, I'm very consistent. And I probably didn't used to be, but I am now because it's important to me, right? People make time for the things that are important to them. And so, whatever business you're in, if you're in sales, if you're in multi-level marketing, whatever it is, it all depends on you and what you put into it. So I'm hoping that I can share a little bit of that light with you guys, and I don't know, share a little bit about my story and my family and some good stuff. I'm the biggest dork on the planet. So my favorite thing to do, well, my favorite thing that my husband can do is make me laugh. And it doesn't matter like what kind of mood I'm in or what's happening, but he will totally make me laugh. And that is what I love the most about him, especially with the bad dad jokes. And I should have looked it up before I got here, but I didn't. But it's something about what do you call a fake noodle, and something about a detective. I don't know. Listen, this is like my 46-year-old brain trying to remember something from a long time ago that cracked me up. But something like, what do you call a fake noodle? And you call it an impasta. I mean, seriously, that stuff right there will crack me up. My friends send me little dad jokes all the time, and they're the best thing in the world. So I'm a huge dork. I love to laugh, but I'm also really, really serious most of the time. Obviously, because I'm a recovering drug addict, I'm not a big partier. I may have a drink socially every once in a while. Trimsticks, water, and vodka is my thing, socially on occasion. But all those people out there that love to party, I'm not your person, right? I am what I guess most people would consider a fuddy-dud. I'm a little uptight. Like I said, type A personality. And I'm probably a little more than uptight. I'm probably pretty uptight. But it's who I am, so take it or leave it. And I hope that through this process, I can bring something to your life. I can bring something good. I can bring something relatable. And I just wanted the opportunity to introduce myself to you. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for checking this out. I hope you listen further. I cannot wait to tell you more about my family and my kids. And that's another thing really fast. My kids, they were like, please don't use our names. And I'm like, but why? Like, this is going to be a podcast. It's on Facebook. Most of my people, all my stuff's public. Most of my people know my kids' names because I talk about you guys all the time. So I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that, but I'll figure that out one day. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you got something out of this today, at least with that I am board, and at least knowing that you're not alone. You're not alone in this world with what your struggles are. You can overcome anything, whether you're a single parent, whether you're in a bad abusive relationship. You can get more for yourself, but you have to work for it. You're going to have to work hard for it. I work hard every single day. And people think, oh, she's just a machine. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that. But you can, because if you love something enough and you're passionate about it enough and you want to change the world, then that's my plan. I'm going to bring some people on here to share some really incredible stories stories of success and business success and stories of weight loss and success. People that I've met along the way on my journey that I would have never met without it, without this. So I'm grateful to be here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace out, homies.